Excuse the laundry noise, but I have a child in my sweater. I need to get up and do things, but she has hijacked my sweater, and I'm not brave enough to kick her out, so let's chat. So, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen that my favorite movie is The Dark Crystal. It's my lifelong hyperfixation, and that for my birthday last week, they were playing it in the movie theater. So I was able to do a test dress like a Gelfling moment and go watch my favorite movie on the big screen. And it was magical. I knew it was gonna be cool, but it was like way cooler than I was ready for to see it on a screen that big. Anywho, they were playing it because next weekend is the 40th anniversary of the movie, which is crazy because when I turned 9, my parents gave me the 25-year anniversary DVD. And when I was in high school, when I got elected as a student body officer, as a congratulations present, they got me the Dark Crystal book. And I'm just kind of like, it kind of makes me feel old that I've been around for the 25-year and for the 40-year now. But I guess that's what happens. So, I wanted to make a Gelfling costume for the 40th anniversary because I know how silly this is going to sound, but as a kid, I think that I related more to Gelfling and to like cryptid fantasy creatures than I did to a lot of the human characters. Like, and now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like it was like gender confusion because I was like, I like the princesses and I like the knights, obviously, but like, I don't know if that's me. But then when I saw the Gelfling in the Dark Crystal, I was like, oh, that is what I want. Which, if you've seen this TikTok,
y'all be like, ooh, gender envy, where'd you get your gender? Okay, this?
Yeah, that's how I feel. And so I was like, you know, to celebrate the 40th anniversary, I might as well become my true Gelfling form. I want to make several different looks, but we'll see what I'm capable of. I was able to work with an artist. Her name is Kristen. She makes the most beautiful macrame fantasy-inspired armor pieces, and I was so excited that she wanted to help me bring some of my ideas to life, so I was able to work with her. Her username is lonewithgoddessl, and I'll put it here on Instagram. And I am just so excited because I'm going to start building up my looks around the armor piece that she created for me. I thrifted a bunch of beige and white items that need to be a tiny bit of a darker shade for the color scheme that I'm going for. So that's what I'm going to do today. Yeah. I'm gonna have to kick this child out of my sweater so we can get started, but I'm gonna need a minute because she's being so cute right now. Greetings, mortals.
Greetings, mortals.
My cats are being weird. What are you doing? Okay, first things first. This is too hot. Second, I'm going to unveil to you the macrame armor that was created for a Gelfling type of look. So let me go get that. I mean, I'm obsessed. So this goes on the neck and then this kind of like sits on top of the arms. But look at these colors. It's like beige, like a sage green and a blue. And one of my favorite parts is that it actually has crystal shards on the front of the neck and on the back, which that's literally just perfect. But I'm obsessed with the colors. I love the shape, and I'm excited to match some of the clothing that I got to this piece. So they didn't have brown fabric dye at the store. So I have a red and black, and I'm gonna basically make my own mixture, and it will become various shades throughout the process because I don't want everything to be the same color. So luckily I have a lot to work with because I do what any normal person does when I go to ye old thrift shop. When I'm looking for clothes, I think two things. First is, does it fit me? And if the answer is no, it becomes, can I make this fit me? The second thing that I think is, would a cryptid forest creature wear this? Yes, I know, such basic things. Luckily, I have a lot to work with because I often shop with Gelfling in mind. So, like, let me just show you some things that I have. This is one of my favorite sweaters. This I got from thredUP. It's giving Gelfling tunic vibes, kind of similar to what Jen wears in the original movie. So I have that as an option. This one is giving less Gelfling, but it's still giving, oh, that is a huge chunk of cat hair. Thank you, Cinder. It's still giving forest dwelling humanoid adjacent creature. So possibly. I bought this shirt at like a flea market type of thing, and I bought it specifically because it looks like it was pulled out of a swamp, and that's just absolutely what I'm going for. Like, look at these little details. This is like Shrek runway fashion, which, amazing. I have some things that are the wrong color, but I found this really, I think it's like an extra large, which the question, can I make it fit me, came into play, and yes, because I can wear it oversized with a belt. It's kind of like a Jedi looking robe, but I do not really like the pink color, so we're gonna dye that one. I have another pink linen dress. I love linen. And it's got some potential, but also the color is not really what I'm going for. This is also way too big for me, but it has like a drawstring cinch waist, so I can make it pretty tight and then wear a belt on it. But it actually shrunk, so it used to be like down to the floor on me. Now it's like ankle length, which that's still okay. But I love like the frayed details of like the edges and the stitching here. I have some more normal-ish, I say normal, I say I have normal clothes, but I'm not entirely sure if that's true anymore. But this is like a more normal t-shirt that I also got, I think I thrifted this and then I went and bought the same shirt in a different color on thredUP because I'm obsessed with it. I just feel like it looks like a cute little fairy creature would wear this. So there's that. I found this t-shirt material dress on thredUP from the same, I think it might be the same brand, but I love like the knot detailing. It's kind of like there's some threads coming loose and it's a bit lower waisted than I would like. I prefer things to sit about here on me, but I still like it, so that could also be a good piece. I got this shawl thing on Poshmark, which I initially wanted to bleach it or dye it darker color, but it turns out that the threads used to make this are synthetic and they will not bleach or dye, which was very disappointing. But it works for my Gelfling look because it kind of reminds me of like the Stonewood clan in the Netflix series, the colors do. So another potential layering option. As I said in my fantasy video, layering is one of the most important things for fantasy outfits, and same goes with the Dark Crystal inspired looks, because all of the outfits were created keeping in mind that they need to hide the puppeteer's arm or like body beneath a mountain of fabric, so all of their costumes are very layered. So for this particular thing, and for most fantasy costumes, I look for pieces that I can layer. Now, I actually just thrifted this for $3. Do you see this? It's supposed to be like on the shoulder, but I would wear these off the shoulder. I have it pinned inside right now because it's a bit too big for me and I need to sew it to fit, but I think it's so cute, and it kind of reminds me of Kira's dress from the original Dark Crystal movie a little bit. I don't even know how I found this piece, but I saw it and I was like, that's so strange, I need to own it. It's like a corseted fairy costume dress, but it was just with the regular dresses, like not around Halloween or anything. It's got these little sleeves, and then it's got like a halter neck thing, and some of the wire is sticking out from like the little bra part, and it's very low-waisted, which I'm not sure if you can tell, but yeah, like I said, I prefer things to sit about here. I just think it looks more flattering on me, so this can be a good layering option. I'm not entirely like sold on it giving Gelfling, but it definitely has this type of like sheer fabric that is often used in the costumes for the movie and for the series. So keeping this open as an option, this was $15, which honestly probably too much for something that does have some damage, but I was like, I can't just let that stay here. I have to have that. Jen in the original movie, and I think like Brienne and most of the Crystal Guards in the Netflix series, wear leggings, so I have these green leggings. I'm not entirely sure if Jen is wearing leggings or tights, but it looks like Kira is wearing tights, so I do have a pair of tights that I'm going to try and dye in a similar way to how her legs look in the movie. You only get like a brief peek when they're sleeping in the Stonewood clan area, which love that they kept that detail in the show. So I'm gonna try to see what's happening with her legs and try to make something similar, but we'll have to see. Not sure how dye will take to nylons. Those will probably be the thing that I dye first, because it's such a delicate material. I don't want it to get too dark. Now this is one of my favorite dresses, and this was sent to me by a brand on Instagram, and I was so excited because I'm like, this is the perfect Gelfling dress. Like the end just reminds me so much of Deet and Kira's dresses. The sheer fabric, like the little arm things, like it's just so precious. So they sent it to me. I made a post for them, and I went to tag them recently because I went to post another photo of me wearing that dress, and I couldn't find their shop on Instagram. So I went back to my old post and I clicked on the shop that I had tagged before, and their shop is just like absolutely gone. I have no idea what happened to it. So if I ever find that information, I will share it on my Instagram. I have like an outfit highlight, and that's where I tag all of the clothes that I like wear from brands, but as of right now, no idea where you can get that Gelfling-esque dress, so I'm sorry. I went to the thrift store a few days ago because I feel like I've got some good base pieces, but not a lot of like layering options. So I just went looking for specific things that I could like layer and you know, stack on top of each other. And I found this sweater. When I saw this, I was like shocked. Do you see the little doily-like edges of the sleeves? It's the perfect color too. Like, I don't think I could have gotten any luckier. This is like the Gelfling sweater. It matches the color scheme of Jen's outfit so much. So I'm absolutely using this one. I also have a pair of plain white socks because you can see Jen and Kira both have like a toeless look going on with their costumes. I didn't see any of it in the Netflix series. I didn't see anyone wearing anything like that in the Netflix series, which, I mean, I get it. It's obviously not practical to literally not be wearing shoes when you like live in the forest. So I get it, but I'm searching for the vibes of the original. So I'm going to be making my own Gelfling socks. Cinder's helping. He's helping by sniffing all the fabric, huh? I also am very excited about this that I was able to find. This was $6, and it's another skirt similar to the brown one, but I love like the stitching details in here. It's just too white for my liking. Like, I'm going for the beige color scheme that most of their clothes are. And in like a world building sense, I feel like, this is just me being a super nerd, but I feel like they wouldn't have had access to like super white fabrics at the time, because I feel like in their world, it's obviously like a more primitive fantasy story. I can't recall anyone wearing like stark white clothing. And I feel like from a world building standpoint, it's because they have access to fabrics and materials that are more natural shades, and like the dyes that they would be able to produce in this universe would be made from plants, flowers, mud, I don't know. So I feel like this is just, all of the things that I got are a little bit too white and they need to be dyed. I found this like lacy little vest, and it has metal buttons. What are you talking about? That's another layering option. I found this t-shirt that has this little, I love this little neck moment we have happening. Definitely reminds me of Jen's shirt. It's also long enough to be able to layer shorter things over the top and have longer things underneath. So this is definitely too bright and I want it to be darker. This shirt I thrifted a while ago, and it was sitting on a hanger like that was poking outwards, so the sleeves were like really like messed up. And I thought I wasn't going to be able to salvage it, but I was like, wait, this is a perfect thing for layering. It has those same metal buttons as the little vest thing. So I actually cut off the sleeves because I can still use it as like a little over shirt type of thing, or like a vest. And I actually kept the sleeves. So the sleeves were like this originally on the shirt, but I cut them off. I cut up the part that was messed up from the hanger. And hear me out, you gotta get creative with fantasy costumes. So I was thinking, I cut the edges kind of like frayed. I was thinking you can wear it like a kind of half sleeve glove situation, which could be very fun when you're trying to attempt layering, but also still too bright white. So those will be dyed as well. The last thing that I thrifted was this shirt for $5, and it still has the tag on it. It's from Costa Rica, so nice, whoever found that. They never wore it, obviously, but I will wear it because it's giving Gelfling. So this is just like a, I don't know what kind of material it is. It's not linen, but it seems to be a natural fiber, so I'm hoping it will dye okay. I have my pot that I thrifted specifically for fabric dye, and I guess I'm just gonna get started in order of like lightest to darkest things so I can just keep adding dye to the pot. Yeah, I think I've about covered everything. Let's see if this is drinkable yet. It is. Nice. Cinder's being very helpful. He's just observing. I appreciate your watchful eye. He's giving fizz gig. Am I wrong? So while I'm waiting for the water to heat up just a little bit more, I wanted to talk some more about my favorite movie. Also, check out this spoon. I got it from the store. It was actually a new spoon, which I'm surprised. It looks very off, and none of the other spoons from this brand actually look like this, but it reminded me of Hup from the series, so I bought it, and I don't want to use it for cooking because I just think it's cute. I figured we could chat a bit about, I mentioned before that I feel like as a child, I felt like I saw myself in the Gelfling and other like creatures in films. I always thought the mermaids from the live action Peter Pan were super cool too, but a little spooky, which cryptid moment, I'm here for it. But I just kind of wanted to talk about like how amazed I am at the character design and like the set and costume design of all of the Dark Crystal, the movie and the show. Obviously the movie is my favorite, and I just love Jim Henson's concept and Brian Froud's art, but the fact that Brian Froud was able to work on the show as well, just it kept the universe looking so cohesive, and I just like, I cannot even express how much I love the design of the costumes. I love the Art Nouveau inspiration that Brian Froud pulled into the universe. We see it in their clothing, we see it in the architecture, especially in the show when the Gelfling architecture is still prevalent before it's destroyed. I love the natural color palette, the design of the characters and the creatures that live in the world, the way that their personalities are reflected in their costuming. I just like, I remember as a kid when, so the mystics are actually called Uru. I don't know if you knew that, but I remember as a kid watching the movie, and if you haven't seen the movie, we'll a little bit spoil the ending, but the movie has indeed been out for 40 years. Yes. I remember watching the movie as a child, and when the Uru and the Skeksis join as their one true form again, and they become the Urskeks, just the absolute tallest, lankiest, most ethereal cryptid creature you can even imagine. Like, their head looks like they're made out of sticks, their arms and fingers, oh, like, I remember as a kid watching that and just being like, whoa, who came up with that? Because I agree. Just love how they're described as a blend of, like, the perfect blend of masculine and feminine, but they're still very like creature looking, and I'm here for all of the above. And I feel like the blend of masculinity and femininity is not only expressed in the Urskeks, but also in the other creatures such as the Gelfling mystics and Skeksis as well. I love that the masculine Skeksis still have their like super flamboyant and very colorful outfits. They're obviously very like proud, and they can be greedy, and I just like really appreciate that was explored in a movie that was made in 1982. And I'm not entirely sure how intentional that was, but you know, the way that the male Gelfling and the female Gelfling both have like the same haircuts, they essentially wear, for the most part, the same clothes, aside from the show is the prequel, and the female Gelflings, they obviously have wings.
Hang on! don't have wings.
Of course not. You're a boy.
It's a matriarchal society, so the female leaders, the Madra, often wear crowns and tiaras and that type of thing. But other than that, like, their clothing is pretty interchangeable, at least from what I view it as. And I really like that. And I think as a kid, I felt very happy to see that, like, Jen was the masculine figure, but he was like afraid and he didn't know what he was doing, and he was able to like express these feminine qualities, while Kira was like I thought she was so beautiful, but she was the strong one who was able to encourage Jen to be brave, and I swear he was the chosen one, but it should have been her because she was the one who solved like all of the problems in that show, and she's just my childhood icon. I just really like love and appreciate the movie, and it's such a strange cult classic. I know not everybody likes it. It's definitely, I've heard a lot of people tell me that they find it scary. I took it to a sleepover once as a kid and I definitely got bullied because everyone was telling me it was scary. But I never found it scary. I felt like that was a world that I would love to be a part of. And yeah, I'm just very happy that I had something like that as a child, because obviously I still treasure it very deeply, and as silly as it sounds, it just makes me so happy, and I'm glad that I have something like that. So I think we can begin the dyeing process, but I hope that explains a little more about what I mentioned before about my gender crisis moment as a child and relating to the creatures. I'm ready to begin. So as I said, I think we will start with the tights. I made sure the water's not too hot because I'm hoping they don't melt. I'm not sure if they will, but we will see. So I have black, red, and then I have the Color Stay dye fixative. So I'm just gonna start with, I'm just gonna put some of this in. I'm going to add just like a drop of the cherry red and the black. Okay, wish me luck. I actually really like how this looks. I'm gonna let it sit for just a minute and then I'm gonna rinse it out with cold water in the sink. So I'm gonna lay them out in the other side of the sink. Add a tiny bit more and we'll just do these both very quickly. Oh my god, it is like snowing out there. Hold up, check it out. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna time lapse the rest of the process. As I said, I'm going to get progressively darker with the dye and just try to keep everything a bit of a different shade. Thinking about doing like an ombre look. If that doesn't work, I'll dye the whole thing, of course, but yes, that's about all. So the one I'm doing the darkest is still in the pot, but I'm gonna work on the tights while it is getting darker. So I've done this before with, I did like a scarf. The way that I did it was actually with chopsticks, and I'm gonna try the same thing with the tights. So also didn't consider that my fingernails would be dyed, but you know, that's just part of the world building. I'm a Gelfling who lives in the forest, you know? So when I put the outfits on, it's just gonna bring it together. I dip the chopstick in the dark dye and just kind of drip it onto the tights. Just gonna dip it into the cap of the black dye. I think having it a bit more concentrated will be better. Just gonna let that sit for a second and then I'm gonna rinse it out. Okay, now that I've got an assortment of slightly damp clothing, I actually think that the dye may have reacted with one of the pink items, probably the pink linen dress, and it became like a sort of green color, which I'm here for that. So I actually ended up dipping the end of this shirt in it to give the edge more of like a green shade, just while the other ones were sitting in there, and I actually love how it looks. I think it's super cool. So I actually love that that happened. Not expected, but I'm okay with that. I did the top too. I think it turned out cool. Some of the fabrics reacted very differently than how I expected them to. The skirt did do what I thought with the stitching. The stitching is like much lighter than the fabric, which I really like. I did the ombre effect on that. This one, it came out very like splotchy, but I honestly really like it. I think it looks super cool. Oh, actually, I'm wondering if it reacted with the metal in one of the buttons or something. I'm no scientist or chemist for that matter, so I have no idea. But for the last one, I actually was adding in black dye as I was stirring it around to give it almost like a tie-dye kind of look. So it's very like, it's kind of like a two-tone type of thing, and it's still got that pinkish undertone, but it's a bit more red now. I'm interested to see it dried. It's not exactly how I pictured it, but honestly I really like how it came out, and I'm definitely more likely to wear it in this form than in its original pink form. And the tights I actually think are like perfect. I'm excited to try them on and see how it reads like on my leg, but I feel like this is literally what they did for Kira's tights in the movie. Now that they've all been rinsed and squeezed, I'm gonna dry them. I let everything hang to dry for about a day. Then the next day I went out and thrifted another white dress because I decided I wanted more green layers. So I got green Rit dye, and then I also sewed my green thrifted shirt so it would fit me better, and I tried it on over my Gelfling looking dress just to get a sense of what some of my outfit options would be. I don't love the sleeves up, like I was saying, and then the front of it is a little floppy, so I just was tucking it underneath. But I actually think it looks really cute. The fabric is really pretty, and for $3, I think it's a great find. So here's the first Gelfling look. I'm very excited because my friend Kate, Honey Swords Cosplay, she's shooting over there with Nick right now, but she is a flight attendant, so she had a layover here, and so we are able to take our cosplay photos together. She's doing Lucy from Cyberpunk, so we're very different vibes right now, but I'm very excited, and I'm living for how this look turned out. Like, I want to wear, oh, there goes my ear. I could not find my ear glue, but I want to wear this look every single day, so, you know, might have to do that. I've dyed so much clothing for this that it's all going to become daily wear stuff anyway, so. My ears are so numb because it's cold out here. I can't even feel if that is on my body or not. Okay, looks to be so. Okay, before I freeze my ass off, it's like 30 degrees out. I'm gonna film some TikToks while I can feel my hands, and then it'll be my turn to take some photos and some final shots, and I will show you the result. Greetings once again, lads, ladies, creatures, and cryptids. Just wanted to let you know, you're a friend for all seasons. And speaking of seasons, it's been snowing for 3 days straight, and the temperature has sharply declined, and I've had a migraine all day. I want to finish this video before the 17th though, which is the 40th anniversary of the film. So I did small Gelfling makeup for you today. All I did was extend my lips, do some blue and sparkles on the eyes, and yes, that's my casual Gelfling makeup. Also, chicken in a blanket. Since I haven't been feeling great today, and since it is indeed quite cold and like 2 feet of snow out there right now, I'm not really feeling like getting all costumed up, going outside and filming 2 more outfits. So what I've decided to do is use some of the other clothes that I didn't use in the look that I took to that flat expanse that I showed you in the last clip. Use some more of the pieces that I have dyed because I think they're all so cute and I'm going to wear them anyway on a daily basis. So I thought it might be fun to, for some other outfit looks, do like kind of a more casual Gelfling inspired outfit that you could wear out and about to do your daily deeds. Let's make some day-to-day Gelfling looks, shall we? Got all the stuff, got it all laid out still. I've been waiting to put it away, so let's just get to it. As you saw in my apartment tour video, it is not very large in here, so this is probably the best I can do for a full body shot. Ta-da! Also, one thing about me, I can never find matching socks, so don't hold me to that standard.
Years ago, there was a great conjunction. I was there.
3 suns lined up.
That's when the crystal cracked.
Well, I'm very happy with how it turned out, and I'm extremely thankful for Kristen for wanting to help me out with this, because the macrame armor piece really just pulled the whole thing together. And I still have more photos to edit, but I'm very excited. If you stuck around this long and watched this very, very lengthy video, I appreciate it. I'm still very new to making long form content, and I'm new to YouTube, so hopefully this was a decent enough video. I really enjoyed making it and just kind of like chatting and hanging out. And of course, I'm wearing my favorite sweater that my mom got me for my birthday this year. It's got the Skeksis, the Mystics, the Crystal, and we have Jen and Kira on the Landstriders. So, had to represent it in this video, you know. I just feel so lucky to be alive during a time where I can witness a movie that makes me so, so happy. Can't believe that it's 40 years old now. Kind of insane. So, I appreciate you for watching this video. Hopefully you learned maybe some tips about how to make costumes or just dye regular clothes for yourself. I think it's a good way to incorporate fantasy into daily wear, so. I have another Christmas video that I'm planning, but I can't post it until after Christmas because it would spoil some of the gifts that I'm giving my friends. So I'm going to be putting it on my Patreon, which I will leave the link down below. So if you want to watch that before January, if you subscribe, you will be able to see it. This is the longest amount of time I've ever spent editing content, which is kind of crazy, but you know, I've been doing TikToks, YouTube video, editing the photos, and I've been doing Photoshop on that, which I haven't done in years, as well as Lightroom. So it's been like a solid, like not even counting like buying the clothes and dyeing them, it's been like probably like 3 or 4 days of editing, and then like 3 days of the clothing situation. So it's been about a week-long project, but I've had so much fun doing it, so thank you for joining me. I hope to see you soon, and have a Merry Christmas. Goodbye.